Istanbul is a heaven for every foodie lover. That is why in this video we're going to talk about a topic that is essential: restaurant rules. It's crucial to get to know some of the unwritten rules. So here are some important things to keep in mind before you eat in Istanbul. At every restaurant you visit in the city, we highly recommend you to always check that the menus have the prices, especially in the most touristy areas where sometimes some restaurants might not be showing the prices. So it is when you are at risk that you might be charged depending on where are you from or how they see you. So that is why we always recommend you to check the prices that are written in the menu. Always ask as well if whatever is brought to your table, to ask if that's already included in the price that you're gonna pay for the meal that you order from the menu. Why is this? Because sometimes they are bringing you things to your table that maybe you're not sure if they are included or not. So sometimes they don't tell you if you don't ask them, and then when you're paying the bill, you might get a surprise that the price will be much higher. So that is why whatever it is brought to your table, make sure that to ask them if that is included in the price. However, let me tell you that in many places as well, it is like a custom that, for example, when you are ordering anything with meat, especially kebabs, in many restaurants as well, already small portions of salads and turşu, which is known as the pickles, and small portions of some red sauces are already included. So they will bring it to your table as well. So, but just in case, try to ask as well if the price is already included. If it's already included, which we have also experienced this, that we order any kebab and they bring us like little salads, the turşu and other things, and that's already in the price. Another thing that you have to expect when coming to Turkey is that bread is very important in Turkish cuisine. In every table, in every Turkish house, in every restaurant, every meal will be served along with bread. And as you can see here, we have this freshly baked bread, and also this one we use it with the meze and with any meal. Also, many of you have this question if it's easy to find vegan or vegetarian options in Turkish cuisine. Let me tell you that it is possible. We have all of these like mezeler or appetizers in olive oil that we have, and they're very popular in Turkish cuisine. And you can find many vegan vegetarian options. Like for example, we have this one which in Turkish is known as enginar. Also we have some stuffed pepper and something with eggplant. So these ones are highly recommended. When it comes to hygiene and food safety, let me tell you that at least that has been my experience in these 8 years that I have been living in Turkey. I have never gotten sick from my stomach. But here in Turkey, honestly, I haven't really experienced that. But just in case, it's always good to read comments on internet, the reviews of each restaurant that you are visited. But generally, to be honest, they have very good quality food, good hygiene. So as anywhere else, just look for the place and that it's clean enough. When it comes to reservation policy, there are some places, especially if they are quite popular, that having a reservation is recommended, because sometimes you come and you don't know if it's gonna be full or not. So it's better having it. And for example, in this place that we are coming here, even though it's not in the touristy area, this is in a very local area. This is very close to our house, and this place is very popular among locals, and also we often come here. So for example, to come here today, we have to make a reservation, because usually in summer also this place is crowded, is very frequented by the neighbors, by locals, and sometimes we cannot even find a table. So that's why I'm telling you it's better to have a reservation, especially if the place is popular. Another question I get asked a lot is about the Ramadan season. Remember, when Ramadan season is, usually in many places, many restaurants might be limited in their service hours. But when it comes to Turkey, especially in the most touristy cities like Istanbul, Antalya, that doesn't really happen. Actually, you can find most of restaurants operating normal hours, and you will not have that much problem when coming, especially to the bigger cities like Istanbul. Also, if you would like to see what Ramadan in Istanbul looks like, I suggest you to watch this other video, which I will be sharing somewhere here, so you can watch it after you finish this one. And since we are already speaking about the Ramadan season, I also suggest you that when you visit a restaurant, especially that serves, for example, kebabs, I highly suggest you to try these specific desserts that are prepared during the Ramadan month, like for example, goulash. When it comes to sharing food, if you're like my husband and I, that everywhere we go, we are always ordering a little bit of everything and then we share because we love trying different flavors all at once. You can really do it here in Turkey, there is no problem. It's also part of their culture. So they are all the time sharing foods. Also, when you visit like a local home, a family, if you stay with them, you will see that in the middle of the table they are putting the salad, this and that. So everybody is grabbing from the same plates and putting them into their own. So here is part of their culture, sharing foods. Also, we highly recommend you that when you are in Istanbul or in general Turkey, always try to look also for local recommendations. Why? Because also that will give you the opportunity to try more authentic flavors and foods. And for that, go check our foodie guide on Istanbul, where we have more than 140 recommendations of restaurants for all budgets in mostly every part of the city, including those non-touristy areas. So if you want to check it out, I will be leaving the link in the description box and pinned comment for our Thatch guide. Something else that you really need to take into consideration is when visiting any restaurant here in anywhere in Turkey, and because Turkish culture usually smoking, you will see even very young people smoking. So mostly everybody smokes here. So what I'm telling you is, for example, that in every place, in every restaurant, there are areas that are for smokers. So if you come here in summer, you will find that there are plenty of tables outside, but most of people are smoking. So you don't know if you are really tasting your food or getting the secondhand smoke. So if you're a non-smoker like myself, then it could be a little bit of problem, but just take that into consideration, that if you sit outside, you will be grabbing all the smoke from everybody else. That is why in my case, I mean, I cannot handle it because also I have like some asthma, so I cannot really be around many smokers. So that is why I tend to sit inside if there are available tables, so you can do the same. When it comes to paying at restaurants, most of them accept cards, credit cards, and also cash. But just in case, because there might be some places that might only accept cash, but to be honest, most of them accept credit cards. We are usually paying all the time with credit cards. Just also as a tip, if you have an American Express, that one is not very common here, and you might find troubles of places accepting that one. So, but if you have a MasterCard or Visa, that will be your best options. And something that is very common in every restaurant in Istanbul is and because this is part of their culture, is having these like wipes, if you want to call it like that. Usually you will find them, these ones at every table, and these ones are used mainly before and after having your meal. So the only thing that you have to do is just open them and you get them, and trust me, these ones, I think this is amazing, because whenever we travel abroad, and of course they don't have them in every single country, so it's very difficult for us because we are already used to it. I find it very useful, and you just do it like that and you just leave it on the table. But you will either find these ones, like these wet towels, like wipes, or the bottle of colonia. With colonia is part of Turkish culture already. Something that will be always offered after every meal at every restaurant, of course, it's going to be the Turkish tea, also known as chai. So this one, after you finish your meal, you will be offered this tea. So we highly recommend you to also accept it. It will be very good for you. And somehow after I have tea after every meal, I don't feel that full. That's me, that's how I feel. I don't know about other people, just let me know in comments below. But this is my Turkish tea after our meal. And what about the tipping? Yes, tipping in Turkey is appreciated. It's not mandatory, but waiters will appreciate it. Let's remember that also they are working long hours, and they also depend on the tippings because their salary is not that high. So it will be very appreciated. I suggest you that if you do it, here is well accepted between 10 to 15% of the total bills. So generally we tend to tip 15%, and if we really like the service and the food and everything, even sometimes the 20%. But also you need to pay attention that whenever you're getting your bill, to check it, because sometimes there is one service fee already included, which sometimes also ranges from 10 to 20%. So first of all, try to check for your bill, make sure that it's not included, and then if it's not included, then you can pay the tip. But if it's already included, I suggest you not to pay it. And the tipping, you can pay it either in cash or debit card. But to be honest, I suggest doing it in cash, because that way you're sure that that tip is going directly to the waiters. So these are the things that you should consider when visiting any restaurant in the country. And if you're curious as well, where is this restaurant where we are sitting at right now? This one is not at all near the touristy area, but you can easily reach it. I'm gonna be writing the name of this restaurant on the screen, and also I'm gonna be sharing the exact location in the description box and in comment. You can easily reach it from Sultanahmet, but you have to take the Sirkeci Marmaray station and get out in Küçükyalı. Or if you're staying near Galata Tower or Taksim Square, then get the Marmaray in Yenikapı and get off in Küçükyalı station. The restaurant is just 2-3 minutes away from the Marmaray. If you like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.